I want to talk about when you think of because you guys have looked at different resumes, and I'm sure you've both gotten to a point where chances are most people aren't screening through you guys in the first hiring process anyway, right? You have people that are looking at resumes first, but what entices you or interests you guys when you look at a resume? Is it experience? Is it how you met the person? Is it Carmen met this person through a friend of a friend and they say good things about them? What stands out to you when you're actually interviewing or a resume?
If I'm interviewing, and I'll take place in some of my interviews, sit in or watch the cameras and watch how interviews being conducted, I like to see how they present themselves. And really one of the big aspects is, are they touching their phone? Are they looking at their phone? Are they crazy on social media, where they can't just not be on the phone? Some people just cannot put that phone down. And that's a big aspect. They can know Excel, they can know Office, they can know everything, every aspect of the job. But if they're addicted to their own cell phone, the workload is not going to get done, especially in my industry. We're doing constant billing. We track trucks. We have to know what's going on with the people that are in the field. And if they're continuously updating themselves on social media and seeing what's going on there, nothing gets done. And that's where the firing fast happens. It really does. Because I don't know if you've seen, they actually did an AI report of where John has 10 cups of coffee, Angela does 20 cups of coffee, and they're actually recording how many cups of coffee are being done. And then they showed one person doing 3 cups of coffee, and what she was doing, she was on her phone, just enjoying herself, sitting in the back, enjoying herself. And it's going to get like that. It's going to be more data driven. Yeah. So
it's interesting that you mentioned that too, because phones have become a staple of my Gen Z, our generation, our life. It's become it's part of us. We're attached to it. So that's a good point. We had a whole episode talking about that. That's Carmen's pet peeve too. So what about you? What's your thoughts?
Well, what a excellent way to make a sub point by ending how AI is going to track data analysis for productivity. Yes, because AI is going to disrupt the future for a lot of industries and a lot of personal habits. And I think that is yet another instance that from a corporate ledger perspective might be viewed as incredibly efficient, an efficient asset, an add-on. But from quality of life employee, knowing that every single movement and decision is becoming a data point on a chart. Scary is one word and query as to the next synonym. With regards to what's on the resume, I can't really say the more young the entry point is, the less I care, right? I'll tell you, if you got a 4.3 in college because you did whatever the A+ classes are, I'm not that interested. Yeah. And I'd say the opposite is true. If you've got a 2.1 or a 1.9 rather, and get below into the D+ range, it's also a little bit of a red flag. But I like the media. It shows, just like I like diversity and personality, and showing that you might have a little bit more of a social life and balanced life, and you don't take life overly too serious. But one of the things that I want to hear in an interview is anecdotes, okay? Because very rarely I'll give you the 2 examples. On the one hand, here's the employee we want. Yeah. Hey, Fad, you want to take your company to 300 million? It's at 200 million right now. You should hire me because I've taken companies to 300-400 million. That's what I want to hear, right? Right. If I was interviewing the employer, I might say, tell me your vision for your company. So in reference to his first point, we're interviewing each other. And I might say, I want to take my, right now we're doing 200 million in sales. I want to go to 400 million. Yeah. Well, if that individual across the table can say, I've done this before, boy, that's a big checkbox. Yeah. On the other hand, not many people can say that. Right. And yet the applicant pool is such that they still want that job. Maybe it's a chief of staff. Somebody who could take the company to the next level. Yeah. Well, in the absence of life experience, because Mir, I think you are an awesome addition to any company. You can't sit in any interview and say, well, I've done this for 32 years. It's not possible. You weren't alive. Yeah. But what you can say is, in this anecdotal situation, during this company that I worked, there was a instance during a crisis where my team was assigned or deployed even. And now you are engaging and you're converting stories into answering my questions, and most importantly, you're not on your phone. But yeah, I think that's where, you know, the sort of oratory resume comes into play.